Hello and welcome to this special segment of our ShatterCast podcast segment edition. Those of you who are longtime viewers, you'll recognize our guest today, Andrew Lowen, the brain and designer and creative person behind the board game Deliverance, which is coming to Kickstarter very, very soon on June 8th. Derek and I had a chance to play this game with Andrew on Tabletop Simulator. We had a wonderful time doing that, and we just have some questions for Andrew about his upcoming project. But before we jump into that, Andrew, why don't you give us a quick download if people hadn't watched our last video. What is Deliverance about, and why did you decide to make this game?
You got it. So Deliverance is a game of angels, demons, and the saints caught between. It's kind of the tagline, I don't know, that we use to describe it. But the shortest way I can describe what it actually is that it is a Christian fantasy dungeon crawl board game. So you play cooperatively with 1 to 4 players as angels that are elite warriors in the army of heaven. And you've been given this mission to go to a town called Fallbrook, which is in modern day Southern California. Curiously enough, also the town I live. And that town is absolutely rife with demonic activity. And you don't quite know why. So your mission is to investigate and figure out what's going on, what plot lay afoot here. So something strange is happening in this town, though. It seems as though the evils of the physical world, the human realm, is bleeding into the spiritual realm. So the sins of that world is now manifesting here, and you have to deal with them. So so these darkness cards and other elements will come into play that are basically a direct influence on the spiritual realm from the physical world around you. And
now, the last time we had you on our podcast, I think you're still deciding how you're going to publish the game. And since then, you've made another company because you're not busy enough, Lowen Games, and decided to self-publish. So tell us a little bit about that. Why did you decide to go that route?
My conclusion was that nobody could make a game like this, and I had to. And so I thought, I will pay for the art. I'll do all of the game design, I'll do all the mechanics, I'll do all the marketing, and we'll wrap it up in a nice little pretty package for a publisher that is the right publisher. I'm sure I'll find one, and they will take it and they'll go make $1 billion with it, and I'll make a small royalty and hopefully get paid back for the things I made. But the idea is that a thing will exist that Christians can be proud of and whatnot. And so we did it, and we got offers from publishers. We actually had offers. We ended up turning all of it down and starting our own publishing company. And it came down to one of two things.
What advice, in addition to understanding that your identity is not in your game, what advice would you give people who are currently going through this process?
Number one, well, really, I guess 2 elements of advice that I feel like are very interconnected.
Awesome. Well, we've talked about some of the stretch goals, the miniatures, the game we're all super excited about. How did you get to a point in the development of this game where you decided, okay, now is the right time for Kickstarter? How did you get to that point? What does that point look like? And now that you're kind of taking that leap, how does it feel?
Yeah, so one of the things about working as a game designer, you can always make your game better and different and try this and try that. But at a certain point, you have to say, all right, this is good enough and it needs to go to market. Otherwise, you'll just keep, tweaking your game and making it more perfect, and it'll never go, no one else will ever play it, right? And
you talk a lot about process. What do you think God has taught you through this whole process that you've gone through with this game?
Yeah, God has absolutely used Deliverance as a tool to purify me and to kind of, work things out from the inside. And